Hello, Aries. All right, Aries, let's get into your reading. Aries. All right. The moon will be moving from Taurus into Gemini. Happy April 1st to each and every one of you. We are in your birthday season. Congratulations to those of you all who won a free birthday reading. Stay tuned for the next one. All right. Let's get into this reading. All right. Let's get into it. All right. By now, you know your sign rules first house, right? So I am polite with everyone I meet. I am polite with everyone I meet. That's right. I am polite with everyone I meet. Speaking that out into the universe, that energy is going to come back to you as just a reminder. Like you're programming yourself to say it. And the reason I say that is because putting that out in the universe and it coming back to you, being ruled by Mars. Mars is it's an energy planet. It's a anger planet. It's a masculine planet. It's a sexuality planet. It's a temperament planet, right? It's your planet and also Scorpio's planet. So Scorpio is it rules 8th house. 8th house is about sexuality, death, transformation, shared finances, inheritance, loans, the occult, mystery, intimacy, renewal. But think about like when the cycle ends, right? How that anger can come out. So you saying I am is really like source, the great I am. Now, if you putting that energy out into the universe by setting the tone for the day, wake up, set the tone for your whole day. That means basically a free will. I'm putting that energy out into the universe. That's all I want to come back. I'm polite with everyone I meet. Yeah, first house. It's all about personality, temperament, appearance, self-image, first impression, self-awareness, outlook on life. Polite with everyone I meet. Put out in the universe. Of course, nobody has any control over how other people see you, right? This is year 9. We just left year 8. Beyond that, like you have no control over what karmic cycle people are in. You have no control over that. None. Some people have already judged you before you even open your mouth. So source is saying to you, you're doing the best that you can. I'm just saying I am polite with everyone that I meet. And that's what source is saying. Set the intention. All right, let's see what's in your cards. Like I said, the moon is moving into, will be moving into Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is currently retrograde. It could affect your shoulders, your arms, your hands, bronchial tubes, the lungs. Gemini is an air sign. Yeah, it's an air sign. Like I said, it's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a communication messenger planet. Let me see. It will be retrograde until, trying to get the dates together, April 7th. But right now we have 2 planets retrograde, Mercury and Venus. I believe Venus will be retrograde until April 13th, but I think Mercury will be retrograde until April 7th. Right, April 7th, yeah. So planets don't move backwards. They don't move at a slower pace. It just gives the illusion so you can slow down. You know, everybody, since this is your reading, so I'm saying you slow down. And really kind of think about how you communicate, how people receive it, and then vice versa. Like really focusing on you. The source is trying to help you to live a softer life. Really trying to help you to live a softer life. All right, let's get it. Let's see what's in your cards. All right. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. Wow, I'm starting out with 5 of Pentacles. So, somebody feels worthless. Something is, or somebody made you feel worthless when you were younger. Somebody made you feel left out when you were younger. Left out of something when you were younger. And this key right here lets you know that you hold the key, right? You hold the key to your vault door. Like you hold the key to your life. Like you hold the key to the next phase of like your cycle of life. Everything has a cycle, right? You hold the key, right? And that's what Source is saying, like you hold the key. So 5 would be like the midpoint, but you hold the key. So when something ends, you hold the key. You hold the key. Yep, you hold the key. You hold the key. Here we have the 5 of Wands here. I feel like you may have been baited into something. Yeah, you were baited into something. And somebody lied. Yeah, you were baited into something. And somebody lied. And this is what you have in common. This is what you have in common with somebody else who's moved on, right? I'm seeing a lot of this. I'm seeing a lot of this. So you're closing out a cycle. You're closing out a cycle. You're closing out a cycle. So these are somebody's neighbors. Somebody's neighbors made somebody familiar with a lie that was spread about you by some people that you have in common. That's what this right here, by some people that you have in common. So you and somebody have somebody in common. Let me see. So here we have the Page of Wands here. Somebody was really shady about something. So something is coming to your door. So this would be, okay, let me just say this. So for somebody, you could have someone coming to your house. Like somebody could be coming to your house, Aries. Like it could be someone returning home to you. That's what this could be. Like let's say, for instance, you have a loved one returning home to you. Maybe they're coming home from college. Maybe they're coming home from somewhere. Who knows? Somebody has some neighbors who, and I call them familiar spirits. Y'all can look up familiar spirits if you want to, but they're pretty dangerous. Spread some kind of lie about something. They don't even know a full story. They don't know the backstory, but somebody spread a lie, right? People being shady about some stuff behind your back. But it's hurtful enough. It's hurtful enough that, and I say this in all of my readings here. It's hurtful enough that you're going where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. That's what I'm seeing here in the cards. Yeah, because you're polite with everyone that you meet. You're polite with everyone that you meet. I see you being very structured and very authoritative, balanced out. Basically, you're dealing with an energy is their way or the highway. That's what somebody's dealing with, is their way or the highway, right? And so somebody feels like y'all got to remember, you all are ruled by Mars, right? Mars is when you are that way with someone else, you got to be careful that someone else will be like that with you. That's what you got to be careful of, because remember this right here. it's like somebody will try to pull you down if you're trying to pull somebody else down. Not that, you know. So, yeah. A lot of people are not thinking about it that way because sometimes you're moving so fast. That's what Source is saying. Take a minute to pray about something. Pray for some clarity first. That's what Mars is about. Mars is a total recall of things. A total recall. Total recall. Slow down. Pray about something first to gain total clarity of something. Gain total clarity of something because somebody's neighbors are telling something. Oh, and before, because you all are ruled by Mars, and Mars is the anger planet energy. Somebody has some next door neighbors who are shady, pretty shady, doing stuff behind your back. We got the Two of Cups here. Two of Cups here. So, yeah, pray for clarity first. Pray for clarity. Because you never know when people are soulmates and people gravitate toward like what people's souls need. Like what people's souls need. And how Source will close out a cycle. How Source will close out a cycle. Like what people's souls need. And what nightmares people could be going through, and how Source will close. That's the 9. Source will close out a cycle. Like you and somebody were going through the same nightmare at the same time, but y'all weren't talking. You and somebody were going literally like y'all were going through parallel universes at the same. Y'all just weren't talking to each other. Y'all were going through the same thing. You and somebody were going through the same thing with neighbors. Same exact thing. Both of y'all were saying that y'all are polite with everyone that you meet. You and somebody who weren't talking to each other going through the same thing. So, you be grateful that something is behind you. You be grateful that something is behind you. So sources need you to be more conservative with your time now that something is behind you. Because you and somebody were baited into something. Yeah, you and somebody were baited into something. Okay, had to make a little bit more room. Yeah, so you and somebody were baited into something. And that's what you and somebody have in common. You got to look at this as a matter of perspective. I always say this about this card right here. Either you can look at this as a person getting some fresh air, or you can look at it as a person running away from something. But you and someone, what you have in common is ancestors. Somebody who rides a motorcycle was trying to get a message through to somebody. Someone who transitioned, rides a motorcycle, was trying to get a message through to someone. You and loved ones, like through the air, like basically loved ones with basically like trying to get a message through to everybody is like something about legacy, like family legacy and forgiveness and love, and like get some structure to some things. It's like basically it's like get structure in order to like the ancestors was around. Like the message is really about looking at things in a higher frequency. So somebody must have a very structured and authoritative, like, or ancestors or whatever, very protective kind of ancestors, just kept trying to get messages through. But somebody couldn't hear anything. Somebody couldn't hear anything through the nightmares, through all of the shade, and the people just kept feeling worthless and left out of stuff, and people just kept getting baited into stuff, arguing and chaos. And it looks like, looking at the cards here, it's like every time, so the other side of the door here is like having family functions. Like it was always some kind of people getting into arguments. Like all the kind, that's like all at family gatherings or whatever. There was always some kind of chaos and confusion at family gatherings where people didn't even notice that people just quietly moved on with their lives. That's what somebody, this is what this was. It's just a nightmare and people just couldn't see it. But it puts people directly in the wilderness. And then all of a sudden people look up after the fact thinking people running away from something where people don't even see it's just a nightmare. Yeah, so people are now learning how to be more conservative with their time and seeing things from a higher frequency. So somebody has a loved one on the other side in Aries, someone who transitioned, a man who is very balanced out, who has a very balanced. This is a loved one who transitioned, who's in Aries. I know your sign is, if you tune in, you're probably in Aries, but this is an Aries, an ancestor who's in Aries, who has a very balanced temperament, someone who's very balanced out. Somebody has some idea, kind of sort of who's behind, some kind of a nightmare. Yeah, what family is behind the nightmare? Who paid for something? Somebody paid for something. People are now lamenting over something at this point. Because this is what somebody has in common. Yeah, this is what somebody has in common. Somebody rode a motorcycle. I don't know who. Somebody rode a motorcycle. I think like somebody rode a motorcycle either for work or to work. Maybe somebody rode a horse or did horseback riding, or I don't know. Or maybe somebody was just hard working. Somebody was, working like, well, maybe they didn't ride a horse, but like really hard working person. Or maybe they was working on themselves, or somebody was just a really hard working person. They weren't lazy at all by any stretch of their imagination. They were just a hard working person. Just made to feel worthless, left out of everything, but just a bunch of chaos and confusion. So, just trying to work hard to be financially independent. So somebody could have been on their way to work. So you may embody that same spirit, or somebody may embody that same kind of a spirit. But you and somebody, like I said before, just same. I mean, because somebody was determined, and just like you're determined to do the shadow work. Determined. Yeah, so somebody really thrives in hermit mode. Somebody really, really thrives in hermit mode. So, yep. So here we have the King of Cups here. But, somebody was definitely dealing with somebody who felt like something was their way or the highway, and they were obsessed, literally obsessed. Yep, obsessed. Yeah, so what's hidden in Mars is obsession. there was two karmic couples obsessed with something. So here we have mind power. So lead with your mind. Somebody also may have new love coming across their path. Here we have gift. You will discover new talents that will lead to new opportunities. The source is it's almost like source is putting you into hermit mode at this point. Source is pushing you into hermit mode. The source is going to push you in hermit mode. Because I feel like something has been exhausting for somebody. That's what all of this is about. All right, so yeah, so something has been exhausting for someone. Something has been exhausting for someone, and someone is not going back to that. Something that didn't produce a whole lot of results there, but independence. So don't depend on others. Looking at your cards here. But something about a house with 4 people who live in a house. Here we have fruits of labor. Or someone who may, I see a tambourine or something. So somebody who may have been in a, like maybe couples hanging out together, you know, things like that. And somebody felt like they were baited into something. So something home-based, change your environment. Home is the harbor of the soul. It's the safest place you can be. So yeah, somebody is no longer going back to, you know, like being inspired or motivated with hanging out with, looks like, you know, people who want to just kind of, you know, kind of get to know you too fast, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like somebody is now kind of focusing on spending a little bit more time at home, not saying yes to every invitation that comes your way. Y'all know what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you just want to be home, relaxing, not being out and about all the time, not being baited into going out. Oh, hey, we're about to go do this weekend. No. I think I'll just relax. Yeah. No, I think I'll just go relax. Yeah. I'll go just sitting down somewhere and relax. Yep, so yeah, because there's yeah, yeah, somebody's in hermit mode, but somebody was left out of something. Somebody was left out of something that they worked really hard for. Somebody was lied to, and they worked really hard for something. They put a lot of energy and effort into something, and people were being very shady about something, and manipulated somebody out of some money that they worked really, really hard for. You know, So what I'm looking at here is almost like, yeah. Anyway. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and close this out here. Yep. So, Alrighty. Connect with fire. So somebody is burning something, talking about burning something. So hold your vision. Somebody was burning something. All right, that is what I have for you, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, bye.